New Year! I'm so excited to be back with you in the new year to talk about what you need to know. Okay, so this is the time of year that is so exciting. And it also is the time of year that breaks my heart. And here's why, because I see all of these amazing entrepreneurs, mamas, people are just going out and they're like, this is the new year. This is the year I'm going to do it. And then they go and do something that breaks my heart. They use an old, antiquated, broken system to set goals and expect something different than they had last year. So what do I mean by that? If you knew how like the current goal setting system was created, you would know how old and broken and archaic and industrial it really is. And here's the thing, it actually works against how your brain is wired. There's a specific way that your brain allows results to happen. And the old antiquated goal setting system that I guarantee you're using right now actually works against how your brain is wired. So that's why I'm live today. I am wanting to come into your living room, come into your mobile phone, come into your computer and say, like, don't do the same thing you've done year after year after year, expecting a different result. Because here's what I know, you're super smart. And if goal setting, traditional goal setting worked, then you would accomplish all the goals that you sit and write down in January, right? But what happens? Let's just get real. What really happens is you write all these things down. Here's what I want. Here's what would be great. Here's what would be incredible. And then come March, we start looking and going, just doesn't seem like that's possible. And we're still kind of encouraged, but then we start to shrink our goals. And so every year we get in this washing cycle of hyped up, excited, ready to go, using an old broken system. March comes along, you're not getting the momentum, you're not getting the traction. And it's kind of like, tell me if you feel like this when it comes to setting goals. You feel inspired in January, and March you're a little frustrated. By October, you're actually shrinking goals. Now, sometimes you hit some of them, but it really doesn't allow you to get momentum, allow you to get the freedom that you're probably doing everything for to begin with, right? Allow you to get that clarity and see the things just coming off your list. Like, how is it possible that I ever lived this way, right? And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about results versus writing down goals. It's kind of like, I wish I had an old flip phone, because it's very much similar to that, or maybe a cart and a horse. Once you know that there's something better, we don't go back and use those old antiquated systems. Now, let me tell you this, the goal setting system that you're using right now is built from the industrial age. Its purpose was to have you create more output in the industrial era, meaning more widgets, more things produced. That whole system is set up in a way to make you a good employee. But if you're someone, and let me know that if you're listening to the podcast or if you're live with me here right now, let me know if right now your dream and vision isn't to be just a good employee. It's to build a business. It's to coach other people. It's to make a lifestyle, a freedom, some passive income. You're wanting to create that freedom quotient, and you're excited about doing that. But yet you're using this system that was built so that you would produce more widgets, built so that you would produce more items on a factory floor, but not items that create your life of legacy, of freedom, all the things that you're really wanting in the world. And so, listen, if it worked, then every single year you would hit these goals. Every single year, you would be, even by mid-year, making new goals because things have gone so fast. And this is how you know that it actually works against how your brain is wired. You see, when you set goals like you do with this old antiquated system, this broken system, it actually puts your brain on fight or flight. It actually puts your brain in a neurochemical bath that allows you to feel okay about it, but it actually stops focus. It stops clarity. It stops forward momentum. And one of the things that's powerful about your brain is you could literally create a year's worth of goals in like 67 days. My people do it all the time. Because why? Not because they're smarter, although they're amazing. It's because they tap into how the brain creates results, because that's really what you're after. You're after results. When you're sitting down, think about it, and writing all the things that you want. If you read through that list, all the things on that list are the results you want. It might be in your health. It might be in your relationships. It might be spiritually. It might be business. Maybe start that new business, get that new business off the ground and running and moving and creating income and creating freedom. What is it for you that you've already written down or you're thinking about writing down in the new year? And when you look at all those things, these are results that you're wanting. And so doesn't it make sense that you're wanting to align your brain and use the capacity that you already have? By the way, you already have the capacity. You already have the systems in your mind. You just have to stop working against it. Does that land? It's like you've got a tool. It's like having a Ferrari, right? And having the tool to be able to go as fast as you want. Yet the choice is we keep getting back into the horse in the cart, and we try to get somewhere. And it's not that you can't make some progress. You've probably made some progress with setting goals, but here's the thing. Tell me if this lands. It's not fast enough. It's not clear enough. It's not like, this is so clear, this is the way, walk in it. It's not tapping into those natural energy stores to keep focus going, to keep clarity going, and to get where you need to go in a very momentum driven type way. Because your brain is wired for momentum. Your brain is wired to move you from the next place to the next place to the next place, unless you actually put a tether on it, unless you actually pull it back by how you're creating the goals that you're setting. And so I have to come on here because I love you too much to see you do this another year. Now, we just wrapped up what we call 67-day year that joined in October, back in October, where people were shrinking goals. From October to today, we have over 100 people that came through that literally took a year's worth of goals and shrunk it into 67 days and are crushing it and jumping into January. And so we are going to be doing another live event talking about how do you tap into your brain system to allow success? How do you go fast? How do you fast forward your future? Because here's the thing, the world needs what you have. Like, you, by God, were created with a calling, with a vision, with a mission. That's why you're even thinking about setting goals to begin with, because you've been given this gift that needs to get out to the world. And maybe it's for your family, to see that your family can have a different life than you've had in the past. Or maybe it's creating legacy for the next level. What is it for you that has you really wanting to change and create movement and create momentum and create results in your life? I love to say it this way. I feel like God planted those things in your heart. And now it's important that you learn how to step into the Ferrari to make them go and stop jumping into the horse and cart. Now, it's not that the horse and cart won't get you there, but it's going to be a rougher ride. There's going to be a lot of sweat and tears, and it's going to feel painful, right? And I don't want that for you, especially because you've been gifted this beautiful brain that has a results system that you can tap into. So we're doing another live event, January 10th through the 13th, called Fast Forward Your Future. How to create a year's worth of goals in 67 days. In this live event, I'm going to be showing you exactly what to do to tap into this new system, the system that's been there, but no one has really tapped into it, learned how to access it, and learned how to really drive results and momentum through it. And we're going to be sharing a lot of stories of the people who went through back in October, so you can hear their life stories about how they thought that the year was over in October and they crushed it in just 67 days. Listen, that's why I'm live today. I'm excited for the Fast Forward Your Future live event. I'm excited to teach you what I accidentally found in my PhD in neuropsychology. I stumbled upon, as a typical entrepreneur, the way the brain wires success, and nobody actually teaches that. But as you know, we're problem solvers, entrepreneurs. I was trying to solve my problem, the problem of my entrepreneur glass ceiling, right? The problem of getting half momentum but not full momentum. And as I was in those rooms, I accidentally stumbled upon the combination that is how the brain is wired. And if you're a God girl or Jesus girl, you love scripture, here's the greatest thing in the world. Everything that I learned in those rooms are already in the scriptures in order. So we think of the scriptures as a religious book. This is a book that gives you a manifesto on how to excel, how to create momentum. So I was the weirdo in those rooms, getting really excited because scripture was becoming this manifesto, not this religious book. And science was proving out that there is a way to flip on the success switch to tap into the results that I wanted so desperately for me and for my family. And I can tell you, I'm not a special unicorn. So as I used this system that we now call the Sync NeuroCoach model with my clients at the time, their businesses started crushing it literally in 67 days, 2 months, 3 months, going from 6 to 8 figures. And that's when I knew I needed to show you how to tap into the system. You already have access to it. You just don't have the operating manual. And that's what we're going to be diving into in the Fast Forward Your Future live event. It's next week, I believe, January 10th through the 13th. We're going to be breaking down each one of the steps so that, here's my goal for that live event for you, is so that this year is the year that everything changes. This year is the year that everything that you write down on that old antiquated goal setting system and then close the book and don't look at it again actually comes to life, not in a year, not in 5 years, but in the next 67 days. That's a powerful tool, would you say, to be able to know that whatever you put your brain to, not your mind to, whatever you put your brain to, you can achieve if you step into knowing how to unlock and unleash the results from a brain-based perspective. So that's what we're going to be diving into. You'll learn how to use this system to accelerate the goals that you have in this new year and accomplish them faster than you ever thought possible. So let me see, what is the links for you to get a seat at that live event? You're going to go to drshannonirvin.com/fast forward. Fast forward. Shelly, I see you. Good to see you in there. Thank you so much for saying that. And I'm assuming, Cheryl, you're live with me. If you could pop that link in across all the live platforms. And if you're watching on the podcast or listening on the podcast, then you would just pop to the show notes and the link is there for you. But this is what we're doing. It's my give. We did it back in October. We had this incredible group go through. We've been doing this for years. And now I'm actually writing a book on this subject called The 67-Day Year. And you get the preview. You get to jump in January, learn it for free, and start to literally unleash the best year of your life. Not because you're working harder, not because you're hustling till your eyes bleed, not because you're losing sleep and grinding the grind. It's because you've tapped into the one resource that was given to you by God to accelerate excellence, to accelerate momentum, to have you step into your biggest vision, your biggest dream, your biggest calling, and really truly get out there and live the life that you were called to live the business you were called to live the health and the relationships and the spiritual life that you were called to live, because you are no longer working against how your brain is wired. So the URL to join the live event, which is January 10th through the 13th, you'll go to drshannonirvin.com/fast Forward. If you're on Instagram, you can go up to the link in the bio and the link's waiting for you there. Until I see you at that live event, here's what I want to leave you with. Do not go another moment using a broken, antiquated, industrial age goal setting system that works against how your brain creates results. This is the year. This is the year that everything shifts. And I cannot wait to see you at that live event where I get to unpack all of what you can tap into and accelerate and create momentum and truly fast forward your future. And that's why we call it the Fast Forward Your Future live event. All right. I love you guys. I cannot wait to see you next week at the live event. Until then, have an amazing January 3rd and let's get some momentum together, because I'm thinking, you go through Fast Forward Your Future, maybe join 67-day year. And then by March or April, what if all the goals are done? Pretty incredible, right? What will become possible if a quarter of the time all those goals are done? That's what I want to see happen for you. And I want to show you how. So we'll see you on the Fast Forward Your Future live event. You just go to drshannonirvin.com/fast forward, or the links up in my social bios. Until then, I will see you then. Bye. Fast Forward Your Future.